Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have some more Twilight PvP battles, but first I wanted to show you this shiny Shuppet that I found. Now this is actually my second shiny Shuppet, so I'm really happy to have it, so I can evolve it into a shiny Bonnet. So really exciting, really happy to have this one. I was really surprised to find it, to be honest with you. Not the best IVs, but that's okay. Still really happy. Now I didn't find it last night or today or whatever. I found it a few days ago, but that's okay. Still really happy to have it. So we're moving on to some more Twilight battle PvPs against my good friend Joker, and I actually did go ahead and invest in a Clefable. Did buy that secondary move because it is relatively cheap. He does start off with a gold bet. I start off with that Clefable. I do go ahead and pull a switch to Venomoth because of how much damage it does. I do go ahead and get off my Silver Wind, which I did go ahead and swap. I took out that Bug Buzz and added Silver Wind. It does charge up a lot quicker. Now he actually does go ahead and knock me out, so I do go ahead and pull that switch into Clefable. Clefable charges up that Meteor Mash really quick, so totally recommend Meteor Mash. I didn't expect Flamethrower to do that much damage to me, to be honest with you, but it actually did. It's a really powerful move coming through on that Skuntank. I believe that he put it on because of my Venomoth, so as I mentioned, Flamethrower on Skuntank is a really good option. I do go ahead and bring in my last Pokemon, which is going to be that Toxicroak, and I actually do go ahead and knock out his Golbat, and I do get off the Mud Bomb against the Umbreon, but of course he's going to go ahead and block, and I do get, well, he actually gets a move off before I get a move, and obviously I'm going to go ahead and block. I get off that Dynamic Punch. Of course he's going to block. He really has to block at that point, so I just knew one more move and I'm going to win. He actually gets off the move before me, foul play, but that's not going to do much because I resist it, and I do get off that Mud Bomb. Going to be able to knock out that shiny Umbreon, so we do go ahead and take the first win. So really nice game, really nice game. I really like Clefable's performance. Meteor Mash does charge up really quick. I also have Dazzling Gleam on it, and I do have Charge Beam as its fast move because it does charge up Meteor Mash really quick. It also has Zen Headbutt and Pound, but I'm liking Charge Beam. Let me know which fast move you would put on Clefable. But yeah, getting off that Dazzling Gleam. And he decides not to block, probably because he didn't expect me to have a secondary move. But I do have that Dazzling Gleam doing a lot of damage, a lot of good damage to that Umbreon. We do get off Meteor Mash, and he does go ahead and forfeit a shield, which is kind of what I was hoping he would do. So he is down a shield. I decided to go ahead and block because I knew I would get off another Meteor Mash, and it would either sacrifice his last shield or knock him out. And he does decide to give up Umbreon. So we do take a lead, but he actually catches up and knocks me out quick, so we do go ahead and switch into that Venomoth, doing equal damage. His Crobat's super effective, I'm super effective against him, but I do get off that Silver One because of how fast it charges. Not doing a lot to Alola Ninetales, but again, because Alola Ninetales is really not that bulky, and Silver Wind does charge up pretty fast, we actually do go ahead and do a lot of damage throughout the moves and whatnot. We do go ahead and pick up the KO, so he does switch into Crobat, knocking me out easily, and now I do have a Toxicroak, and that is going to do so much damage to me. Actually picks up the win. We were so close. If we got off one move, we would have been able to take the win, but that's okay. Good game. Very close game. I really like that. I do begin with Sharpedo. He begins with his Skuntank. Now Bite is doing a lot of damage, but he's doing more because of how frail I am, so I do go ahead and switch into Toxicroak. I know I use Toxicroak a lot, but I feel like I have to use it against battles with him because that's how good it is, and I know his team setup and whatnot and what he has. So Toxicroak just does a lot of damage to that poison type, so I totally recommend bringing it with you on your team of 6 to the Twilight Cup, even if you don't bring it in every battle, which you might not, I might not, but it's still totally something that I would recommend having as an option if you're able to get one. I would totally recommend it. I do go ahead and block that Aqua Tail, getting off another Mud Bomb, and that will be enough to knock out Drapion. Neither of us have any shields left. He does knock out my Toxicroak, but I am in a significant lead, so I'm feeling confident at this point. He does get off a Flamethrower, doing a lot of damage to Crobat, so that Flamethrower really good, even though it's not stabbed. So totally recommend the Flamethrower, not just to do damage to Venomoth or knock Venomoth out, because it still does a lot of damage anyway, even to something that's neutral to it. So totally recommend that Flamethrower. And I don't have Flamethrower on my Skuntank, but I'm going to swap something and put it on because Flamethrower is a really good move. But I decided to stay in with my Skuntank because you guys know I don't like to switch first if I can absolutely avoid it. And I guess he feels the same way. So we're both basically tied at this point. I think he's a little bit ahead of me in terms of damage. I decided not to block and let Skuntank go down, so I do go ahead and switch into my good old Clefable. Love using this Pokemon. This Pokemon's really fun. I don't think I'm going to bring it with me to the Twilight Cup, but it is a lot of fun to use. I mean, that Meteor Mesh is doing a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage to opposing fairy types. It does damage to rock types, you know. So in general, it's a good Pokemon for the PvP Cup, or the Great League, I should say. So using Meteor Mesh, he decides not to block. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it still does a decent amount, you know. He gets off that Ice Beam, and I also have a Swalot, so I can't wait to try that out. Swalot is not in this video, but I do plan on using Swalot in a future video just to see how it performs and whatnot. But we do go ahead and get off the Meteor Mesh, and he does forfeit his last shield, which is kind of what I was hoping he would do, and he uses the Ice Beam. I do go ahead and block it, and I get off a Meteor Mesh, which is going to be able to knock out that Swalot, and he brings in his Shift Tree, which is going to easily take out our Clefable. But I do go ahead and bring in my Crobat, which is definitely super effective against Shift Tree, and of course we're going to be able to take the win on Shift Tree. I mean, Leaf Blade's not going to be able to do anything to us. Dark Move's not going to do much to us, so we do go ahead and take that win. So yeah, another good battle, another good win. And we begin this time with Alolan Muck. He begins with his Toxicroak. Going to have to immediately pull a switch, getting off those confusions. He does bring in Skuntank, I guess because he has that Flamethrower. Well, obviously because he has Flamethrower. He decides not to block there, doing a good amount of damage. So, and because of how fast Silverwind charges, it's really good. So forcing a shield and doing a lot of damage to him. So I'll definitely take that advantage. He does knock me out or whatnot, but yeah, still doing a lot of damage to him before we do get knocked out. And I do bring in Clefable. I decided to save my Meteor Mesh and Dazzling Gleam for the next Pokemon or the shield or whatnot. Using my Meteor Mesh, and of course I knew he was going to block here because that Meteor Mesh would have knocked out that Alolan Ninetales, or at least done a lot of damage. Now he actually gets off his Ice Beam before I could get off my Meteor Mesh, unfortunately. Wow, doing a whole lot of damage, knocking out that Alolan Ninetales in one clean sweep. So he does knock me out with Toxicroak, and unfortunately he gets another Mud Bomb. I was like, I could survive this, right? So I do survive it, and we actually get off a Dark Pulse before he gets off another Mud Bomb, and we do go ahead and knock out that Toxicroak. Now, yeah, good game. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and jump into another battle, and I'm beginning with my Mawile. Just using Mawile just for fun. I do have Bite on Mawile, and yeah, Golbat not really doing a lot. I mean, it's actually doing a decent amount of damage to us, but we're doing quite a bit more to it. Getting off that Iron Head on him, and that's going to be able to knock out Golbat. So we do take an early advantage, so really good on my end. So Mawile really helping us out in this battle, but he does go ahead and knock out Mawile, but we still did quite a bit of damage to that Skuntank, so he does go ahead and use his Flamethrower, and I'm going to go ahead and block that because of how much damage it did to me in a previous battle, you know. Getting off that Meteor Mesh, he's going to go ahead and block it and switch into Honchkrow, but we do go ahead and get off a Dazzling Gleam, and I believe, yeah, he had to use the shield because that would have knocked out Honchkrow, but he does knock out Clefable, so he actually has the lead or the advantage at this point. I'm going to have to block that Brave Bird because that would have completely destroyed me. But we do get off the Silverwind, and I wanted to use it before he got off his move because I wasn't sure if he would get off his move before I knocked him out. So he actually does go ahead and take the win, though. So he does win that battle. So good game. And moving on to what I believe is the final battle. I'm beginning with my Skuntank. He's beginning with Shiny Umbreon. Doing a good amount of damage to him, actually. So he does get off his Dark move, but I knew it was foul play, so decided not to block because I knew it wouldn't do a lot of damage. I get off my Sludge Bomb, and that is going to do not a lot of damage, but against an Umbreon, I was satisfied with it, you know, because of how bulky Umbreon is. I decided not to block there, and he actually gets off another move, but I do go ahead and block this one because I wanted to survive to get off my other charge move, which is Crunch, and I am going to get off Crunch. And again, as I mentioned before, I do want to go ahead and put Flamethrower now on my Skuntank, seeing as how much damage it does, not just to something like Venomoth, just a lot of damage in general. But yeah, I do get off my Sludge Bomb, which would have done a lot to Alolan Ninetales, of course, but he does go ahead and block that, kind of forcing the shield because he had to block that. He does get off Ice Beam, doing a lot of damage. I probably should have blocked that. In fact, I know I should have. But getting off that good old Meteor Mesh, and that is going to force him into his last shield. Of course, he had to use a shield in that situation. But unfortunately, I didn't get off that Medium Mash in time. He does get off Ice Beam. I do get off Medium Mash now, though, and this is, of course, going to be able to knock out that Alola Ninetales. So, you know, now we're down to the final Pokemon, Crobat versus Toxicroak. Now, Crobat does have an advantage, so we're going to take the game, and that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Bye!